It's Monday, and it's the main event, and you know what that means. Throwing a competition over the top rope like the Royal Rumble this upcoming Saturday. It is the Flex Zone Podcast, episode 424, on the anniversary of the late, great Kobe Bean Bryant. The Mamba dropping 81. We had some historic performances in the NBA this evening to honor one of the GOATs. It's the Flex Zone Podcast, episode 424, recapping the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. We're down to the final four as the conference championship games are upon us. We're going to talk all about it, break it all down, look ahead to the games, pick our winners who goes to the Super Bowl, and look ahead at the coaching carousel that is ever moving in the NFL. We got some coaches hired as well. It's the Flex Zone Podcast, episode 424. Make sure you guys stack that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell, and donate via Cash App to Flex Zone 1. Ravens, Chiefs, Lions, 49ers. Who makes it to the Super Bowl? We're going to talk all about it, break it all down on the Flex Zone Podcast. And of course, we got that goofiness for you with our boy Cavante. Knocking out the competition more visceral than that boy Trump, knocking out all them Republicans, and throwing them over the top rope prize like they're going to be doing on Saturday. It's the Flex Zone Podcast, fellas. Only place giving you sports how you want it.
When you need it.
Episode 424, and I didn't even realize that before we came on air. Episode 424. Cavante, you were mentioning the high point totals in the NBA tonight, and it's the anniversary of the late great Kobe Bryant scoring 81 points, which seems just like yesterday, which actually was on the AFC and NFC Conference Championship Sunday, back when the Super Bowl was earlier in February. So it's funny how things come full circle. But episode 424, we'll talk about that and so much more. Ravens heading to the AFC Championship game, and they have a tribal chief waiting for them at the bank. We'll recap the games this past weekend, look ahead to the conference championship game. We got a team in the conference championship game for the first time longer since I've been alive. We'll talk about that as well. Coaching news, rumors, couple second interviews for some big time names. We're going to preview those conference championship games. We're going to get goofy with Cavante, and we may even touch a little bit on the Royal Rumble this Saturday. But make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to Flex Zone 1 on Twitter, Instagram, Flex Zone Podcast on TikTok, and the Cash App, as you can see, is in the comment section. The Flex Zone 1 on that Cash App. We appreciate all the donations. Big time week ahead. One of our busiest weeks of the year. One of our biggest events of the year as the road to WrestleMania begins on Saturday. We'll talk all about that and what the schedule's like on the channel a little bit later. But batting leadoff, it is a social media producer. I think he's still got a couple icicles between his toes. But remember, he always does this.
Finish him, Daddy.
No bread, no water, just meat.
That's right. All the meat in the world, baby. Your boy's here. Rick Rogers in the building. Yes, my toes have still icicles on them. I was freezing my ass off on Saturday. It was terrible. But the game was great. I enjoyed myself. And the Ravens are in the AFC, what is it? Championship game. The AFC Championship. So there you go.
Yes, we'll talk about that immediately starting off the show, but it is my boy. He is the captain of the goofy ship. He is the voice of reason. He is Cravante Bebe, the Commandalorian, and we bring in the horns for my guy. How you feeling, brother?
Indeed. Like I said, man, y'all can't get me to go out there in them games and it's frigid temperatures. Raj, you're a true trooper, brother. And it also makes it feel a little bit better that they did win. The Ravens did win. And win in hot fashion, dare I say. But y'all already know, Monday nights, back at it again with my guys to talk about this here playoffs that's getting real interesting to say the least. Also, couple coaching coaching updates and yeah, I'm excited to see what happens this upcoming weekend. But god damn it, the closer we get to it, the realization comes that this is about to be over. And I feel like it happens a little bit faster every year. It's crazy. It's like 18 weeks goes by so fast, and then all of a sudden we're in the playoffs. Truly crazy. And it's a good thing. It's happy and it's sad, you know?
Yes, let's get into that weekend that was as we're past the divisional round already. It's in our rear view, and we are in the conference championship mode. That Sunday is coming up this week. But let's look back. Let's go through these games. There were 8, now there are 4. It actually started on Saturday with the number 1 seed Baltimore Ravens taking on CJ Stroud and Miko Ryans and the upstart Texans. They beat them 34-10, advanced to the first AFC Championship game at M&T Bank Stadium, first AFC Championship in Baltimore since 1971. Roger, you were there. You can give us your thoughts on the game. I heard it was electric. We talked a little bit about it on the post game, which I know we were all out and about and moving around. So I appreciate everybody watching that post game. We'll be live on Sunday once again after the Ravens and Chiefs, if you don't know. But what did you think about the game, Raj? Lamar, 4 total touchdowns, 2 in the air, 2 on the ground. And the defense really only giving up 3 points, but they did have the punt return. The Ravens were locked in, man.
It was locked in. My cousin was there too. Bateman caught all of his targets. I'm very happy for him. But
One?
yeah. Huh? What happened?
Was it one target?
No, I think he had like 3 or 4 targets, but he caught them all. But anyway, the atmosphere was great. Yes, it was freezing out there, but like I said before, the fans showed up. They was ready to go. Real fan Dan had his shirt off, so you already know what comes, when the shirt is off. It was a lot going on. But yeah, the Ravens started off slow. They didn't. I mean, the defense was great the whole game. Of course, the defense did their thing. Like, I mean, you can't start off hotter than what they did. But yeah, the Ravens offense started off slow. Lamar Jackson took a lot of hits in that first half. They were blitzing the hell out of them. The Houston Texans were. They adjusted at halftime. All of a sudden, they running the football very, very well and very effectively. Instead of drawing out long passes, they do a lot more short dump offs. And before you know it, the game started getting out of hand. The Ravens started, moving the ball more effectively. And by the fourth quarter, it was over. Like literally, legitimately, it was a wrap. I didn't expect the Texans to win. I did expect them to at least score at least 17 points, but they scored 10, and they really shouldn't have scored that. They should have just scored 3 or 6. But hey, man, it is what it is. They were a rookie team. I really didn't expect much from them, going into the season, but they found their way to the playoffs. They found their way to the divisional round. I give hats off to CJ Stroud and D'Amico Ryans for, being a great team throughout the year. And although this is a tough loss for them, it's growing pains, and they only going to learn from it and be better for years to come. But I'm glad that I'm glad Lamar got that monkey off his back, especially since he's been getting ridiculed throughout the year that he only has 1 playoff win, and 3 losses and all this other nonsense. But it's off of his back. He got the win, and he's going to a place he's never been before, the AFC Championship game. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but I'm just happy that they got the victory, man. I'm just happy they got the victory, and I'm glad nobody got hurt. And I definitely want to see what they do next week.
Cavante, how you feeling, man? I know you loved what you saw from your D Ohio State alumni, CJ Stroud and D'Amico Ryans, black head coach, black quarterback. And you love what you're seeing from Lamar Jackson, the presumptive MVP. It's finally looks like like I said, he's quarterbacking enough. All right, is it quarterbacky enough? Is that what it is, Raj?
It's quarter blacky. That's what it is. It's quarter blacky.
Okay.
Both of them.
All right.
Both CJ Stroud and Lamar. Blacky. There you go.
Shout out to Dylan, by the way. I see you last week in wrestling. Make sure you guys check them out. We'll be on there this week as always.
So first things first, shout out to the Texans making it as far as they did, because like Raj was saying, I don't know about y'all, but I thought they will still be top 10, maybe even top 5 pick in the NFL draft. And shout out to DeMeco Ryans, rookie head coach. Shout out to CJ Stroud, the Ohio State rookie quarterback, and shout out to Bobby Slowik, rookie offensive coordinator. So this was bound to happen. I actually thought this would have happened to them last week. Well, I guess the previous week. But it didn't, and it gave them a little bit more hope going into that game. But they were overmatched. The worst draw. Oh gosh, here we go. the worst draw they could have had was Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens at the bank. But they were overmatched. That was only the best defense in the league. With scoring defense, takeaways, and sacks. So young that's when all their inexperience shows. And that's what happens when your inexperience really shows against experience and veteran players and a veteran team at a championship level team. And there's nothing to hang your head down about. There's no shame in losing to the Baltimore Ravens. After all, they're probably they have a great chance at winning the Super Bowl this year. So there's no shame in that. But like Raj said, these are the growing pains that happen, because I felt like all year C.J. Stroud didn't have any growing pains. It felt like. So for his real major growing pain to happen in the playoffs of his rookie year, it's huge. It's really huge. And again, DeMeco Ryans, great job, phenomenal job. And Bobby Slowik probably won't even be there next year, which is the crazier thing. But now to the Ravens. Things start off slow. I think that was due to a little rust, and trying to get their feet underneath them, getting acclimated. It was very, very, very cold. The first half, it looked very competitive. I mean, the Texans should have had the lead if they didn't miss that field goal. But the Ravens do what the Ravens do best, which is adjust. And they didn't look back. It's the Texans blitzed Lamar Jackson and the Ravens in the first half, and they blitzed them right back in the second half. And C.J. Stroud and them didn't score another point in the second half, and the Ravens went on to score 24 points, and which turned out being a rout. And the superior team showed that they were the superior team, which is what superior teams do. So I didn't think the Texans were going to win. I thought it was an absolute long shot, but they did well. They had a great season, but the Ravens keep on chug-a-lugging all the way to the AFC Championship, which we said this is the spot where Lamar Jackson needed to get to. Like this is where he absolutely had to get to. But you look around, you really only got 15 in front of you right now. You know what I'm saying? And Lamar Jackson has the better team overall as a whole. But, 15 is going to be 15. We'll get into that a little bit later. But Lamar Jackson, phenomenal game. He just continuously proven that he's the MVP of the league.
Shout out to Rashawn. I know that non-top shelf tequila you had down at the 105.7 casino at Horseshoe might have got to you, brother. Cowboys are done. You're a Ravens fan. We know you was at the game. Can we stop with this narrative that the Ravens are going to blow out the Chiefs? Please stop. Please stop. Stop. It's not going to happen, okay? It's going to be a close game. like Cravante said. 15 going to do what 15 does. Got the Swifties and all the cultists, fans that are going to be there with her. They're going to work their magic, okay? It's not going to be a blowout. Yes, the Ravens have the better team, but That doesn't mean anything with Patrick Mahomes. We saw that yesterday because the Bills had the better team. But I'm gonna just leave that there. We'll get to that in a little bit. But Ravens advance, Texans are on the come up. And honestly, I said this in a video, Cavante, and I'll leave it there. CJ Stroud's already knocking on the door, not only of a top 10 quarterback, but a top 5 quarterback, Cavante. How you feel about that?
I think he's top 10 right now. I ain't gonna hold you. I think he's top 10 right now. And he's for sure, I would definitely say, knocking on the door of top 5. But I think he's definitely I don't think there's 10 guys, and we're just talking about this year because obviously he's a rookie, but I don't think you can name 10 guys that was legit better than CJ Stroud. And another thing is you got to throw Jordan Love in there too. But I know CJ Stroud is definitely in the top 10, and he's knocking on the door for top 5. But granted, Burrow really didn't play much this year. Herbert's about to get a new coach, so Aaron Rodgers didn't play. So, you got to take that into account too. But his touchdown to interception ratio was phenomenal, which you don't see out of a rookie quarterback.
The greatest rookie quarterback season of all time. Don't at me, just facts. Nice segue there, Cavante, with Jordan Love, because for the last time this season, we're showing love to Jordan Love as his team is going home. They actually probably should have had a chance to win. As
Yeah,
the
they were there.
49ers, the 49ers outlast the Packers by a score of 24-21. Honestly, I thought the Packers were going to win, Raj. We were doing a post game. We saw Aaron Jones running up and down the field. Then we just saw Christian McCaffrey, that bad man, take over. Probably going to finish second in MVP. But like Cavante said, got to show love to Jordan Love. And 49ers find a way to get it done, man.
Yeah, man. They surprised a lot of people this year. Jordan Love surprised a lot of people in the second half of the season. Granted, the first half he was a little shaky. We didn't know if he was going to be the guy for the Packers, but he slowed down, slowed the interception rate down, and just started playing ball. Man, he did his thing throughout the season. But yeah, they had a real chance to win this game on Saturday night, and I think the Packers blew it. I mean, they had them against the ropes. Aaron Jones was running all over them with the fresh legs. Jordan Love with those turnovers, man, really hurt this team. And Brock Purdy was not great at all, to be honest with you. He looked very pedestrian out there at times, and he did a real disservice for that team. And we already know what happens when they get hurt. Deebo Samuel is a huge part of that offense. And when he left the game, you could tell that they didn't know what the hell to do half the time. But they got by. They got by. And we'll see what happens with this NFC Championship game. This is going to be very interesting. To be honest with you, I think the San Francisco 49ers are wounded like the Philadelphia Eagles right now. And if they don't get their act together, they will be going home before the Super Bowl. But we'll get to that a little later as well. The Packers blew it. They had a chance to win. They should have won. But Jordan Love is still green, as D would say. He's very green. And this is his first actual year starting. He'll only learn from it. He'll get better. But you can't throw the ball across your body, man. You can't do that. That's just a no-no into double coverage. You can't do that. You can't do that. And he knows that. And I'm pretty sure he was, yelled at by the coach and by some of his teammates after the game. But like I said before, they had an amazing season. They made it to the divisional game. I didn't even think they would make it that far, but yet they did. And they're only going to get they're a very young team, so they're only going to get better from here. So look out for them for years to come. Jordan Love will be a better quarterback for it. I guarantee you that, and they will be back.
Wante, how you feeling about this game? And do you agree with Roger that the 49ers may be a little bit wounded?
Yes, the 49ers look very beatable. Very, very, very beatable. Now, you see, the difference between both number one seeds playing, the Ravens knocked off the Russ at halftime. And I feel like it's stuck on the 49ers a little bit more than it should have. And if it wasn't for an inexperienced mistake here and there from Jordan Love, listen, man, the 49ers almost took a crazy L. And it's funny because the Packers never beat the 49ers, at least not under Aaron Rodgers. And wouldn't it have been crazy if Jordan Love found a way to beat the 49ers in the playoffs and Aaron Rodgers over in New York looking goofy? That would have been crazy. But a mixture of inexperience and a little bit of luck for the 49ers. But you need that. You need a little bit of that to be a champion. You need a little luck. Need some talent, and need a little sprinkle of some vets, but definitely a sprinkle of luck. And I think the 49ers got away with one. Now, I tell you this right now. They mess around and play like that against the Lions mess around and smack them. I say that right now. And to Roger's point, Purdy looked very average. Like he looked like Mr. Irrelevant. That's how Purdy looked in that game. It's like wasn't making any eye-popping plays. But something that's interesting, for the 49ers to have all these weapons, as soon as they lose one guy, it's like it falls apart. Like, do they not still have Kittle, Ayuk, Christian McCaffrey? But Debo leaves and things fall apart. Trent Williams leaves, things fall apart. And I'm just saying an example from like earlier this year. Because honestly, I think Trent Williams is the most important piece on that offense. But he leaves, they go on a 3-game losing streak. Debo leaves, and the offense goes down the hole. I'm confused. They have too many weapons for them to lose one guy, and then they fall apart. That's kind of weird, especially from a Kyle Shanahan coach team. But Jordan Love had his touchdown to interception ratio is pretty damn good too. And if y'all remember from last week, his game against the Cowboys and C.J. Stroud's game against the Browns looked very similar, damn near identical. So they both did very well for their first outing and first year as full-time starters, make it to the playoffs and winning their first game. And both was in very impressive fashion. So it looks like Jordan Love is and will be the guy moving forward with the Packers. And the interesting thing about Jordan Love is that he's going to have to get paid soon. And we haven't talked about that yet, but we'll get into that probably in the offseason. Excuse me, but they have to pay him pretty soon. And he chose a great year to have a great year, huh?
Yes, we'll get into that. Let's bring in the man himself, the Flex Zone Messiah, the man who entered at number one and outlast 29 other men in main event WrestleMania, the Flex Zone Tribal Chief, Pride of the Eastside Savior of Misbehavior, Mr. Boston Hard University, the man who can outlast the cold, my boy, the super producer, Mr. Drizzy Dreams.
Lie again, Byron. Lie again. Lie again, yo.
Drizzy Dre, how you feeling, brother? I know you were driving on Saturday night. We appreciate you joining us, but we wanted to get your thoughts on the Ravens, brother, for those who didn't see it. And it's 49ers Packers talk, man. Jordan Love, did the 49ers almost choke it away? I mean, how you feeling, brother?
Hey, I'm feeling good. Hey, Cravante, man. Look, I'm so ice cold, man. They said I could have been an alpha, but instead I chose to be a kappa, man. So,
Are you capping?
I'm from East Baltimore, man. I don't never cap on that. But man, great to join y'all as always, especially after a Ravens victory, man, because that first half was very scary. But Lamar apparently just told the team, "Look, shut up. I'm gonna put on the cape and we gonna we gonna go to town." So he did his thing, and I'm so proud of that brother. But the story's not finished. So one game at a time, people. I'm not sitting over here and going to say like the Ravens are going to the Super Bowl or nothing. We have to get past the Tribal Chiefs. Um, Ravens, excellent game. Cravante, I heard him talking about the Packers. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Jordan Love may have one more year, maybe. I think they can pick up like his 5th-year option before they
Yeah,
have
so this
to.
was year 3. He has 2 more because he was a first round pick.
So they got a little time, but I mean the Packers. I mean after this season, I don't really see a real drop off, and the fact that not only did he win a playoff game, against the Dallas Cowboys, on the road, number 2 seed, that's the number 7 seed, and outballed Dak Prescott. He damn near outballed Brock Purdy. If it wasn't for that
He
late game
did. He
drive,
did. He did,
I
bro.
mean, he pulled one out his ass, but Brock Purdy, he was able to pull away that drive, but the Packers should have won that football game. So they're going to be a formidable team for years to come. I know we're talking about the Lions and how it's like the Lions division, but that boy Jordan Love, man, he keep playing like that, it's going to still be the Packers division. So we'll see what happens. The 49ers, though, I mean, I know we haven't done our picks yet, and they're coming, but man, I'm not as confident in this 49ers team as I was going into the playoffs. I don't know if it was the 0-3 slump that Purdy had when Cravante was saying that when he misses his pieces, this whole thing just goes down. I'm not sure if it's that. I'm not sure if it's he just may not be the guy. He's a good quarterback. I'm not going to sit over here and cast aspersions and say that he's not a franchise quarterback. But I'm saying that he may not be who we thought he was, and maybe it's just because of the rookie year that he had. But I mean, he's doing good to lead the 49ers to back-to-back NFC Championship games. But sometimes, just like the Bills have to answer a question about not necessarily their quarterback, but the guy to put them to get them over the hump. The 49ers, it's going to remain to be seen. Yes, it's good to get to the NFC Championship game, but now it's like a matter of getting to the Super Bowl. The Bills, their story is going to be about should they replace their head coach. Now, you got the quarterback, but do you replace the head coach because he may not be the coach to get you over the hump?
Yep.
And it's one thing to beat Patrick Mahomes in the regular season, which and hey, Lamar's got to answer this question too on Sunday. It's one thing to beat this man in the regular season, but Joe Burrow has beaten this man in the playoffs. And it's different when you beat this man in the playoffs as opposed to the regular season. And it's not to say it doesn't count. It's not to say it doesn't build momentum. It's just different. We all know it's just different in the playoffs. So I think that's not only a headline, but it's also a real question to ask. I'm not going to get to the logistics about salary cap and all those things, but those things will take care of itself. But that's a real question to come upon when you're talking about these games, because to me, I was the only one to pick Buffalo. Everyone else on this team, y'all picked the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll be honest, when I was watching the game last night, I said, I forgot their running back's name, but if he doesn't fumble, I said that the game was over. And they were like, everybody where I was at, they was like, no, it's plenty of time on the clock. I was like, no, y'all don't understand. This game is over. Like if he scores, and he damn near scored, and the Bills caught a huge break about that fumble in the end zone, and now they're talking about changing the rule about the fumble in the end zone. Yeah, I'm like, look, it's been a rule all this time. Why are y'all trying to change now? But nevertheless, that it's just sometimes you just see in sports where it's just like some plays just happen, and it's gut wrenching to the team, and I think that was that moment if he had scored. So Buffalo got lucky with that, but then ended up still losing the football game. I was like, look, I said Josh Allen knows when I think because they were down 3 at that point. I said Josh Allen knows you have to keep scoring. You can't waste a drive at all against the Chiefs. If they score, you got to score too. You got to match it. You can't sit over there and take your foot off the gas at all. So I know that that was the game of the game of the week. Everybody's talking about it because these are the 2 big name quarterbacks, but I think people were sleeping on that Lions and Bucks game as well. I thought that was a really good game. I know the Ravens blew out the Texans, but at least the first half was really good. And then that 49ers and Packers game was also really good as well. So at least these games are different from what we had a week ago when they were just straight blowouts and unwatchable at a point. I think that these games were a lot better because you saw these were better teams out there. But you see young emerging stars like Jordan Love and C.J. Stroud. So I'm curious to see not only these guys in their sophomore year, but also some of these rookies to come in because now C.J. Stroud has set a precedent, and technically Jordan Love has too, because Jordan Love, this is technically a rookie year, a full rookie season for him. Granted, he may be like a veteran because he's sat behind the great Aaron Rodgers, but it's still a rookie season for him because he has not had, I think he's only played in like 1, maybe 2 games prior. So to have a full rookie season and to be able to take your team to the playoffs, CJ Stroud with with a rookie head coach, rookie quarterback in there, and you guys go to the playoffs within your first year, very impressive. So now, and we'll talk about the draft and all that for later down the road. But I'm just saying how this has got these new crops of quarterbacks coming in. They have a new standard to uphold.
Well, let's get to your biting kneecaps real quick. Let's continue.
You
to go
can
down
clip
the
that whole thing, Byron, if you want. You can clip that whole soliloquy that Dre did. That was like 10 minutes right there. But anyway, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Yeah, we had the Lions. They defeated the Buccaneers 31-23. And like Dre said, it was a very entertaining game. How you feel about the Lions, Raj? I know Dre loves biting kneecaps.
Damn right.
I like kneecap biting as well, but the Lions, I'm happy for them. I really am. I truly am happy for that organization. I'm happy for the players. I'm happy for Jared Goff, who was left behind and put in Detroit after his time with the LA Rams. After taking them to the Super Bowl, they left him for dead and traded him for Matt Stafford. So I'm happy for him. He has a chance to get to his another Super Bowl with Detroit if they can pull off the win against the 49ers. I thought it was beautiful, man. I thought it was beautiful. Then the locker room celebration. Well, not really a celebration, but the locker room speech that Dan Campbell gave to the players. I thought that was well. Hats off to him. Hats off to him. The Buccaneers, I did not have this team be in a situation either. I thought Baker Mayfield was in over his head, but all throughout the season, he just kept fighting and fighting and fighting, and he brought them to the playoffs. He playoffs. Yes, he did his thing. He had a couple turnovers here and there as well, but Baker, did his thing out there. Mike Evans was a beast. Todd Bowles is a good coach, man. When he's not coaching the Jets, we sing. So yeah, man. I'm happy for Detroit that they won, but I'm also happy for the Buccaneers that they, after losing Tom Brady, that they didn't just fall off and become a lottery team. They fought all the way and made it to the postseason. And so I think Baker Mayfield may be back. He should be coming back. And the Lions are in a prime position to make it to a Super Bowl if they can, get past the 49ers on Sunday.
First time in 32 years, and another quarterback that's going to have to get paid is Baker Mayfield, Cravante.
Wow. Never would have thought. As y'all know, I was not a Baker Mayfield guy. I was not high on him. I thought he was very, very much overrated since the beginning. Like, I felt like he was the number one pick in a relatively weak draft class, and I just thought he benefited greatly from that. Now, granted, he did have a Heisman Trophy and Heisman season, but I didn't think he was as hyped as he was to be. And granted, I was right pretty much all the way up until snap, he goes to the Bucks and they win the division. Whoa, they beat the Eagles. Oh snap, Baker Mayfield is one thing he's always been though is a fighter, and he's gonna put his all into it. Now, how he puts his all into it depends on it depends on what's your flavor and what you like, because he's a boaster, he's a trash talker, and he gets in your face. And that's what he does. Win, lose, no matter how you slice, that's what he does, and that's how he gets down. But you look at his backstory, you see why. He walked on at OU. I mean, he walked on here. He walked on at OU. He became the starter, Heisman Trophy winner with Lincoln Riley. Baker Mayfield legit got out the mud. So I respect where he come from. I just didn't think he was that great of a quarterback. And this year he proved that he's good. He's not as bad as I thought. And like Rod said, after Tom Brady, we thought it was up. Tampa Bay thought it was up from here. And as trash as the NFC South was, we knew 3 of them teams were probably gonna be lottery picks. And the one team that win the division is probably gonna get the 19th overall pick. You know what I'm saying? And no, they didn't. They did. They just, did enough to win a division because the Saints did win their game at the end, but the Bucks, I believe, had a tiebreak, if I'm not mistaken. And they host the Eagles and beat a very wounded, beatable Eagles team. So that was a great, great win for them. And Baker Mayfield deserves a lot of credit for the success of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Raj also said this, shout out to Todd Bowles, coaching the hell out that defense. Because remember, Byron, last year and even the years when Tom Brady was there, secondary was kind of iffy. It kind of could go either way. But they got some, they're vets now, got some experience under them, and they play really well. But now injury bug hit them a little bit, and going into, dare I say, they went into a hostile environment in Detroit, and at what's that, Ford Field, and my gosh, the Lions crowd was crazy. Just I'm so happy for them because, man, the Lions have been one of the worst teams in recent memory. And for them, that matter of fact, the last time they went, the Washington team / Redskins / football team / Commanders won the Super Bowl. That's who we beat in the NFC Championship, was the Lions, en route to go into I believe that was our 3rd Super Bowl. Well, no, the 3rd Super Bowl to win. I believe that was our 5th in appearances. But the Lions ain't been there since 91. 91. Byron, where you at, baby?
Wasn't even thought of it.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, that was quite
Crazy.
some time ago. And the Lions had a 0-16 season. Dan Campbell was on that team. So it's only fitting that he be the guy, he be the coach to help them take it to new heights. And now they're in the NFC Championship. Crazy to think that the Lions, who would have thought at the beginning of the year that the Lions be one of the 4 best teams in the league? Because that's essentially, you in the NFC you in a championship game. Essentially, this is the Final 4. You know what I'm saying? But big ups to them. Oh, my bad, Dre. I know you had a crystal ball over there, baby.
I believe in the kneecap biter.
And the Lions were good. Lions, and I picked them to win the division this year, but NFC Championship is crazy because we had the Eagles and the 49ers. That was my pick for the championship game, but the Eagles went down a spiral staircase, and the Cowboys did what Cowboys do. So them getting an NFC Championship, that's big for the city of Detroit. That's big for the organization, for the Lions, and that's big for Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell deserves a ton of credit for his coaching that he's done with this team. And shout out to Jared, not Jared, Goff for bouncing back after his stint with the LA Rams, trading them with Stafford, and him showing them like, yo, I still got something left in the tank that's worth looking into. And Dan Campbell said, I don't care, we're gonna go. So and shout out to Amon St. Brown. Amon St. Brown has got to be one of the most consistent wide receivers when it comes to scoring. He finds his way into that damn end zone. Trust me, Byron, I want to bet. He finds his way into that damn end zone one way or another.
Blue hair and all, right? Looking like the blue meanie.
Hey, yo. Karate don't know about the blue meanie, man.
But, yeah, Lions did phenomenal. When I saw they pulled the Bucks, I was like, they got a chance to go to the NFC Championship. And this is huge for the city, huge for the team. And dare I say it, they got a chance, man. They got a puncher's chance against the 49ers. They do. And I think the 49ers are favored by, I believe, 6.5 points, Byron, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah, I'm put the house on the Lions. Go ahead, put the house on the Lions.
If y'all betting people, I take the Lions with the points.
Yeah. Real quick.
Bite some kneecaps this weekend, baby. Bite some kneecaps.
Just a little nugget. You look at that NFC North, and Rod, you alluded to it. Look at the Lions. Look at the Packers. And I'll throw the Bears in there. They can hit on a couple of these draft picks, and Justin Fields or Caleb Williams, whoever they decide to go with. That NFC North is going to be very, very interesting for years to come with those three teams. I think Minnesota, they got a lot to figure out, but those other three teams, and the NFC is usually wide open every year, guys. We see teams that aren't supposed to be there sneak in. Those three teams, three historic franchises, are on the rise. Like I said, I'm putting this out there now. I think the Bears are going to bounce back next year. I think the Packers are, like you guys said, are rising, and the Lions are. They can probably win the Super Bowl in the next couple of years if they keep this team together. Mm-hmm. You look at that Jared Goff trade. We laughed at it. We scoffed at it. They turned Jared Goff. Not only did they turn Matthew Stafford into Jared Goff, Sam Laporta, Jahmyr Gibbs, and all those other pieces that you saw on yesterday.
Aiden Hutchinson, man, in the draft that they got. Yeah.
Yep.
St. Brown.
Yep. Got the hometown kid, Aiden Hutchinson. Yep. Hometown kid.
Shout out to them. Shout out to the ownership group, Miss Ford, who took over, put Dan Campbell in the position and stayed the course. So it looked like they got something good going there as well. Let's get to the main event. This was the game that was most anticipated, and Dre, you kind of alluded to it. I mean, the Chiefs, everybody except you did pick the Chiefs. They win 27-24. The Bills missed the field goal. Their kicker was 9 for 9 at the time with game-winning, game-time field goals. But once they showed that stat, I literally looked over and said, he's about to miss this kick. What does he do?
Happens every time, man.
That's how it works, yo. That's how it goes.
Every time, man. They did that with the damn 49ers. Oh, Kyle Shanahan is 0 for 30. They about to win.
Yeah, so
0 for 30, they're going to win now.
Chiefs get it
0
done.
for 30. I was like, come on, y'all.
27-24. The second half, that defense kind of shut down the Bills. I can't put it all on Josh Allen. His weapons were Stephon Diggs. He got to go because his ass talked too much to be playing like this. I'm sorry. He ain't doing nothing to be talking like that. But Raj, how you feeling about this game, man? How you feel about Josh Allen? Can we stop with the narrative that he's better than Lamar? Where do the Bills go from here? Do they fire their head coach?
Let me just say this. It was refreshing to hear First Take give Josh Allen that Lamar Jackson treatment. It was very refreshing this morning. A lot of yelling, a lot of goofiness. But to be honest with you, it really wasn't his fault. And I'm usually never saying that because a lot of the games were this fault this year. But this particular game, I thought he played pretty well. He had 3 total touchdowns, a lot of drop passes. Stephon Diggs had a wide open touchdown pass that he dropped.
Sure
And
did.
a couple other people dropped balls during the way as well. But the field goal kicker, like everyone said, left them down at the end. We already know how that goes in Baltimore. We've seen it before. Um, the Bills just laid an egg, man. They really did. They had the advantage. They had the weapons, and they played right into the Chiefs' hands at the end. Of course, Patrick Mahomes was pretty good as always. Pacheco almost had 100 yards. Travis Kelce had 2 touchdowns, 75 yards, and the others stepped up as well. Valdez, Scantlin, and Rice both made some key catches.
Kadarius Toney inactive.
Kadarius Toney did his thing as well at home. So I mean, if you give the Chiefs any chance to beat you, they're going to beat you. And the Buffalo Bills are known for just losing to them in the clutch moments. And this is no different. Even in their own home, they lose to them. So is a sucky way to go out. I don't really blame the coach. I can't really blame the coach. You can't. I mean, drop balls is drop balls. Missed field goals is missed field goals.
I do. I blame him.
I about to say, yeah. I blame the coach too.
I blame him.
Okay. Well, y'all can make your argument for it. But drop balls is drop balls. Missed field goals is missed field goals. And they always come up, small in the clutch. It is what it is. If he ends up getting fired, so be it. There are plenty of candidates out there. If I'm them, fire his ass now and go get Bill Belichick. Go get somebody of substance over
the
there.
Ultimate betrayal, huh? Go right down the road.
Ultimate betrayal. Go get him. if he's still out there, go get him. But
pull a Rex Ryan, huh?
Yes. But either way, Tribal Chief gets another one, and the Bills do the
just
same.
Like the real Tribal Chief. Yeah. Just when you think he's about to lose, he somehow finds a way to win.
It's just somehow Solo comes out there, or Jimmy comes out. Somebody comes out there and he bail him out.
Somebody.
And at this point, the field goal kicker turned into, I guess, Solo. But it is what it is.
Cravante,
no, don't do that to Solo.
You blaming the coach. You blaming the coach, man. I like McDermott though. I do think he's a good coach. But these Bills, man. I know we talk about the Cowboys and their inefficiency to get things done. The Bills. You think about the last 4 years, they were probably favored to get to the Super Bowl. One of the teams we thought lose to the Chiefs, lose to the Chiefs, lose to the Bengals, lose to the Chiefs again.
This is what happens when I think this is that defensive-minded head coach thing that I don't like, along with the elite level quarterback. He does not have the authority, nor has anybody on his coaching staff, because Ken Dorsey's no longer there. Shout out to Joe Brady. Joe Brady called a hell of a game. Mm-hmm. The interim offensive coordinator. Joe Brady called a hell of a game, and
that was a nice chess match, Cravante, because Steve Spagnuolo, he's great. And that's what scares me a little bit about Sunday. And let's not forget, Steve Spagnuolo was the DC with the Patriots. I mean, when the Giants, when they beat the Patriots. So he's had Brady's number for years.
So, so that was a great chess match between Spags and Joe Brady. And what an amazing name to have, Joe Brady. You got 2 all-time great quarterbacks. But anyway, it looks like he will have that. He should have that offensive coordinator position full time next year. But there's nobody to reel Josh Allen in when he being goofy. Because I tell y'all, Josh Allen, even though this is not all his fault, he does deserve blame. He missed a lot of going for the home run when it's right here in front of you. He missed a lot of them.
You talking about
A
that
whole-
throw? You talking about that throw in the end zone when he was just a little touch short on it?
Yes, Stephon Diggs was actually wide open. But that happened a lot, a whole lot. And Josh Allen, being the gunslinger that he is, always goes for, he prefers the home run as opposed to the base hit or as opposed to the double. And there's nobody to keep him online like, hey, go short. This is the Chiefs. Let's keep it going. We don't have to go for the home run. We don't want Patrick Mahomes to have the ball anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it's better off that we keep the ball anyway. But there's nobody to reel him in. I feel like an offensive-minded guy, maybe a offensive-minded head coach, offensive coordinator, background, QB, tight end, whatever, can reel him in. There's nobody to reel in Josh Allen. Josh Allen can pretty much do whatever the hell he wants. Because at the end of the day, it'll be Sean McDermott to get up out of here. I think the Bills have hit their ceiling. And I feel like we said this previously, Dre, about the window. And it's crazy because they still was very close to getting to and they did not play great this year, but they still was very close. They was a play or two away from getting back to the AFC Championship. But it's something to be said about keep continuously getting to the same spot over and over and over again. And you just can't get over the hump. Something has to change because now you're going to have to mess around and pay Josh Allen again. And now what? Von Miller, how many more years you think Von Miller got?
So they got
None.
that. They got
None.
that contract.
None.
He's done.
None. He's
They
done.
got that contract. He got what, Byron? Like 4 more years on that contract. I think it was
Yeah,
like
it's
5
crazy.
years, 100 million or something.
Yeah, I'll get the contract details, but go ahead.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? Like Von Miller was the missing piece on that defense. He was the missing piece last year, and I believe that he got hurt towards the end of last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Man, he got hurt.
He got hurt, came back this year, got arrested, and yeah, that was
it. Anyway,
got hurt and arrested. What the?
He doesn't look. Yep. Because we was like, yo, you got hurt, and you're not supporting the team. You out here being goofy. Yeah. I remember. Von Miller does not have the same burst, and that's again a little long in the tooth. You know what I'm saying? It's been almost 10 years since he won a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So he's taking a step back. Tre'Davious White, can he stay healthy? This Bills have a lot of questions they have to answer. A bright spot was James Cook this year. Stephon Diggs leaving a lot to be desired. For him to be as elite as he is, Byron,
trade him.
He
Trade him.
does
now.
not.
Yeah.
He does not show up. He does not show up in big games. He just does not. And listen, y'all already know how I feel. And I've said this. I said this back in the off season when they was going through their whatever spat or whatever's going on. When a wide receiver is disgruntled, it's never a good thing. Remember AJ Brown? AJ Brown, the Eagles. I mean AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts. They had a little thing and they try to gloss over it. Nah, it's a problem. When your star wide receiver is disgruntled, it's never a good thing. That's a very, very hard thing to overcome, especially when he's a part of the focal point of your offense. Because number one thing about wide receiver, they always think they open. Ask Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase nicknamed himself 7-Eleven because he always open. You know what I'm saying? But that's how elite wide receivers think. Give me the ball, throw the ball to me, and I'm going to come down with it, and I'm going to make a play. But Jamar Chase, in his short career, has had big games in big situations. He comes big way more often than not. And Stephon Diggs, again, for that window for the Bills, it was open for a little bit. It was probably open for a solid 3 years? And nothing. We had nothing to show for it. Now, granted, it's no shame in losing to Patrick Mahomes. But like Byron said earlier, y'all had the better team.
Real quick, Dre, before you go, I know you touched on it a little bit. I just want to get your thoughts because you also agree with the McDermott fire before we get to these coaching news and championship games. Thank you guys for joining us again. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Von Miller in 2022 signed a 6-year, $120 million contract, and he still has 4 more years. But after this season, they can get rid of him, but they will still owe him $52 million and over $15 million of dead cap money.
What they
So
about to do?
Vaughn,
They about to do a Russell Wilson?
I don't
Cut
know,
him,
Dre.
but then you still got to pay him. Like, it's
Hey,
But I'm trading.
hey.
I'm trading Stephon Diggs as soon as I can. I'm getting all I can get for him.
You know what? I think unanimously we're saying that because we were saying that. I think as soon as they said there was issues between them two, yeah, he had to get traded. And honestly, it dated even back
Send him to
to
Dallas with his brother. Send him to
and
Dallas with his brother, Dre. Use that money. Go get you a T. Higgins or somebody. Go get you a T. Higgins or somebody that's gonna be a free agent and
Word.
rebuild. Don't
yeah,
deal with the bull job.
because in the off season they hadn't talked until like they started preseason. Like I'm like, come on, that's an issue when your quarterback and your wide receiver aren't talking, and then your brother gets on social media who plays in the NFL talking about my brother's got to go. Like you said, I mean, get him up out of there. I mean, Stephon Diggs, he did have big games when he was in Minnesota, but because I think he's the one who caught that touchdown pass against the Saints in the win.
It happens miracle.
So I mean, he's capable, but I think it's just kind of like the
He
Bills.
fit right in Dallas, Dre. You know it. He fit right in. He put up a lot of stats with CD, and they'll lose in the playoffs. You know it.
Yeah, he would. Him, Michael Parsons, all
Yep.
them.
His brother. Put all of them together. Just go ahead and trade him. I might do a video on that. Just go ahead and send him to Dallas. They'll love him.
And but honestly,
Yeah, do it for Rashawn.
You said Stephon Diggs
will.
over there. He's just going to be the number 2 receiver. CD Lamb has proved like, bro, this is my team.
Yeah,
like, I'd be like, bro, like you can't be number 1. Like you would have to like humble yourself. But I mean we're talking about the Bills with Stephon Diggs, but what about that window like you were saying, Karate? You hate to say it's over with a great quarterback like that, but sometimes it just the reality of the situation. I mean, your own division, you have the Dolphins, you have the Jets. We don't know how the Jets would have looked with Aaron Rodgers. So that's 2 teams right there within your own division that you have to battle. The AFC is just strong. We seen that this year with hell, our division, the AFC North, could have had 4 teams go in had Burrow not got injured. So and then we're not even talking about the Chiefs division with the Chargers. The Broncos are iffy about their quarterback situation. The Raiders now, they have their coach. They just need a quarterback in there. So the AFC is just going to get harder and harder to go through, and the Bills just kind of lucked up to catch lightning at a good time. But there was some real question marks when we were unsure about whether or not the Buffalo Bills would even make the playoffs. And then the fact that you have this record, you're 0-3 against Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, that's very troubling. The fact that it's like they wanted, a lot of the times we were teasing last week about the riding that's going on when they talk about Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. It's just like the new Brady, Peyton Manning. But if Josh Allen wants to break that hold, he's got to eventually beat him. And I remember the year when Peyton Manning finally beat Tom Brady in the playoffs. That's when I was like, yeah, I know that this is it. He's gonna get his Super Bowl finally. So there's a lot of question marks, like you said, Karate. We think a lot about getting an offensive minded coach in there because a defensive minded head coach has not apparently worked for you guys, and there were question marks about their head coach anyway. So this might be a time. Don't be like the Eagles, don't be like the Cowboys, and keep running it back, and it's just not working. Sometimes you just sometimes a change just needs to happen, and I think that it may be real time to question whether or not you do that, because you're, like you said, Byron, you're going to eventually have to pay Josh Allen again. You got questions about Stephon Diggs. There were questions about the offense, and now you brought in the offensive coordinator Joe Brady to come in. So it's still some iffy thing, and then the defense too. Von Miller is just not the only issue. They got some issues right there within the like linebacker position, and the corners that they have to also figure out too. So there's some question marks with the Bills moving forward, and you don't want to be in a position where your window is already closed, because there are the conference is just so hard to break out of.
Whew. Well, let us know. Thank you guys. Go ahead, go, Granted.
yo, I forgot what the guy's name. He plays linebacker. He was one of the best in the league. He got hurt.
Matt Milano.
They were depleted injury wise.
That is a little hurdle that they had to get through. But it was Josh Allen or bust anyway. But there's no checks and balances with this guy. I mean, look, interim Joe Brady was calling from the box. There's no checks and balances for him.
But it was balanced, I think, when they had Gable, when he before he moved to the Giants.
Brian Daboll.
Exactly.
He seemed to be able to hold them like together, accountable.
Yes, that was his best year, and he leaves, and Josh Allen regrets like that. That happens when you lose a key coordinator like that.
Look at the Eagles.
Exactly, and they lost both of them, and you see how things unraveled so fast in Philly. Nick Sirianni's head was spinning. He told his defensive coordinator he took his play calling duties from him and gave him to Matt Patricia.
Goofy.
What are we talking about here?
In the middle of the season too.
Like, what are we talking about?
Goofy.
But also, the Eagles as a team, let me say, at least as an offense, took a step back. Like, that tush push got played out real quick.
That's because they kept relying on that dumbness. I'm like, yo, this is the NFL. Eventually, just like the Wildcat, when people was like, oh, the Wildcat's unstoppable. This is the NFL. Eventually, they gonna figure out how to stop it.
Yep.
And when Tampa Bay stopped it, I was like, yeah, this game is over.
And also, shout out to the Chiefs. It's funny because in Patrick Mahomes' earlier years, it was like him and the wide receivers, and it was like the defense is subpar, running game is like, we get it when we need it. Now Pacheco running the ball like mini Mike out there, and can't be stopped. The wide receivers have took a step back, and the defense is elite now. What has happened? It's like everybody did a 180, and Patrick Mahomes like, Kadarius Toney can't catch a cold. But shout out to Rice. Rice he looks like the number one receiver. Travis Kelce.
What I tell y'all last week? I told y'all last week, Rice.
Indeed. And Travis Kelce finally caught a touchdown pass. He hasn't caught a touchdown pass in about 2 months. So it's good to see he's back. And of course, Isaiah Pacheco is bringing some much needed toughness out of that run game. So it's like Patrick Mahomes doesn't have to do it all on his own.
Oh, but there is a wide receiver though who I don't know how helpful he'll be, but some eyes will be looked at him. Mike Evans. I know that Stephon Diggs ain't getting traded to the Chiefs, but Mike Evans is going to be available out there. So they got to decide to pay him or let him walk. So
I think Godwin also, Dre. Both of their receivers actually.
Wow.
Both of their receivers. Yeah, both of them might be available. Godwin too, because I think last year they kept him.
As long as he's not trying to hit nobody over the head with the on the pay side, because the Chiefs not gonna overpay nobody. Like they paid Tyreek Hill, and Tyreek Hill wanted more money. They're like, oh no, like they're not gonna overpay at the wide receiver position. So if it's a decent amount, they'll bring him in.
Let's get to these coaches real quick before we pick these championship games and give out our game ball, not so game ball. We got the Patriots with Gerard Mayo after Bill Belichick left.
Mm-hmm.
Antonio
Good
Pierce
choice.
officially hired with the Raiders for
Finally, somebody
Josh
did it
McDaniels.
right, yo.
The Titans now have officially hired Brian Callahan, offensive coordinator of the Bengals. And we have the Chargers, Falcons, Seahawks, Panthers, and your Commanders. Cravante still without coaches. Raj,
Our
Bill,
coach still coaching.
uh,
Our future coach still coaching.
looks like Belichick and Jim Harbaugh are being pimped out, interviewing everywhere just to, have a pissing contest. How you feel about these coaches, man?
Hats off to all of them. That got jobs. I'm still hoping that Mike McDonald don't get picked up by nobody, but
Bruh.
I think he'll probably be the coach of the Commanders or somebody. But yeah, man. I don't really have much on this topic because it's still ongoing. So and there's still a lot of slots available. But Belichick's had his second interview with the Falcons. I think Jim Harbaugh having his second interview with the Chargers, and we'll just see what happens, man. They're still kind of early, but after the season is over with, I'm pretty sure everybody will have a coach. Because they'll be heading into the NFL Combine, my favorite time of the year. You know what I mean? And yeah, and then the draft will be right around the corner from that. So yeah, man, I'm happy for all the coaches. Definitely happy for Antonio Pierce. He definitely deserved it. So let's see what he does with the Las Vegas Raiders in the future. But yeah, this is still ongoing, and it's not over yet.
Go ahead, Trey. And Ben Johnson will fill one of these positions. You can go ahead and just put his name
And
somewhere.
I've been saying that if I'm Jim Harbaugh, I'm looking at the Commanders. I know we're talking about the Chargers a lot with him, but man, the Commanders should really try to take a look at him, especially with that number 2 pick and new ownership in there. There's still even a chance that they may get Caleb Williams, the Commanders. So hey, that's a possibility. Um, there's a lot of I, I don't know how Belichick, like with the 49ers, that's going to work because I know he's just basically coaching so that way he can get the record. And I don't know how that's going to happen with Atlanta when they got a lot of holes that they need to fix themselves. I don't know why Brian Flores. I'm not hearing his name in the mix when he's we've seen him to be a damn good coach. Eric Bieniemy, I've heard his name come up with the Commanders, and if you don't get Jim Harbaugh, I don't understand why Eric Bieniemy is not a head coach. Give the brother a chance, see what he can do. He's been trying. We've seen the offensive mind that he has. I mean, look at the Chiefs until the playoffs. During the regular season, we had a lot of questions about the Chiefs and Eric Bieniemy and his absence. So I am curious to see how these things shape up once I think like Raj said, once the regular season, once the playoffs and Super Bowl are over, we'll probably start definitely seeing a lot of these vacancies start being filled.
Where
Go ahead,
to
Grant.
where to start first? Um, Jim Harbaugh is a wild card here. He's had 2 interviews with the Chargers, and he's had 2 interviews with the Falcons.
Waste of time.
Uh,
No, I don't even
honestly,
understand that.
I mean, honestly, he might just be trying to drive up the price and go back to Michigan on folk. Because I don't know, like he's really in limbo right now. I really think he should let the whole Michigan thing go. Because you probably not gonna do no better than the national championship. So, but Jim Harbaugh is definitely the wild card. The Falcons, I can't believe this. Honestly, the Falcons. Bill Belichick shouldn't even be an option for the Falcons after that bold mess y'all did back to the 28-3.
I knew he was going to bring it up.
He should not even be an option right now. I don't know why y'all doing it. It should be. I didn't know Jim Harbaugh was looking at the Falcons. I thought it
He's
was
not.
just the Chargers and Raiders.
He's not.
But why is Bill Belichick even an option? Did y'all forget? I don't know. That's just me personally. That's just how I feel, how I think about that. But I think Ben Johnson is going to fill one of these spots. I think McDonald is going to fill one of these spots because every game the Ravens defense show out, Mike McDonald's stock goes up.
No, not yet.
He's too good at his job, so he got.
Damn it!
He's too damn good at his job. Let's see. Shout out to AP finally getting that solidified full-time head coaching role in Las Vegas. Shout out to Gerard Mayo, another black brother, getting a head coaching job in all places New England. What is going on here? But we love to see it. Black head coaches it's up. It's all up from here. So we love to see it. I really don't see a good fit for Bill Belichick. I'll be quite honest with you. I don't see a good fit for him anywhere. The Chargers job is the one bad thing about the Chargers job is that cap hell. They are in cap hell. Like whoever goes over there is going to have to do a lot of fixing. And do you want to still go the coach centric mindset where the head coach and the GM are the same person, like the head coach that has GM powers, or are we gonna go back to the chain of command where you have to bring in a GM and a head coach because this team is in such bad shape as far as the cap is concerned?
Well, it depends. Like, I'll let you finish, but I'm in Jim, and if you're gonna get somebody like a Jim Harbaugh, that might not be the worst route about GM coach, only because remember he's coming from college to the pros, so he's gonna know about a lot of the young personnel, similar to like when Pete Carroll came in from USC going into Seattle, and you saw that he had a lot of young talent that he was grabbing from like 4th and 5th rounds, and we were like, man, this person like is so good that they should have been a first rounder. So he's like you said, he's the one wild card because you may be like, oh, he may really like be able to do some noise because he's been on the recruiting side and seeing these guys in college transitioning now into the NFL.
So Jim Harbaugh, that's what I'm saying. I think Jim Harbaugh would be fine with that, and that's if they want to go that route, because Jim Harbaugh is probably going to demand power and decision making. And with the Chargers, they have an opening head coach and GM, so that'll work for Jim Harbaugh. I don't think that'll work for Bill Belichick.
Hell no.
Which my point still stands. I don't see a good fit for the Bill. Put Bill Belichick in. Forget it. Put him in Carolina. Put him with the Panthers.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Damn.
I mean, otherwise,
you talk about taking old Yeller to the shed. Damn, Carvante.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, the Falcons, I guess they get their defense together, and the offense is pretty set outside of the quarterback. I don't know. I just don't know. But I'm excited to see where Jim Harbaugh falls, because as soon as Mike McDonald and Ben Johnson is eligible, they're pretty much gone, in my opinion. Unless McDonald legit wants to stay. If he has aspirations of being a head coach, he's gone. Ben Johnson, he's already linked to Adam Peters. He's gone. He's probably going to be coming to DC. So Mike Vrabel is another one. Where would he go? I don't see a great fit for him. The greatest fit I thought was the Patriots, but they got Jamar Mayo. So I don't know where Mike Vrabel would possibly end up. So, but it's going to be interesting to see. Wow, you think he'll go back?
Yeah, he might.
Well, no. Has he ever been a coordinator?
That's a good question. I think he was underneath of Bill Belichick.
Maybe. I would say I heard Ron Rivera's for the DC job with the Yeah, I think so. But I know he's the linebackers coach. know if he was had the actual coordinator tag because it's hard to have that with Bill Belichick around.
Yeah, I think he went from linebacker coach to head coach.
Hmm.
And I think
don't know if he never
Bobby
officially
Slowick
had
too
that
is
tag.
another guy. Yeah, I think he was linebackers coach only. I think Slowick gets a job too, Cravante.
Bobby.
Him and Johnson get a job.
Oh, I absolutely, and they'll probably have the pickings with how well they did this year. So and Bobby Slowick. The only thing about Bobby is that 1 year, one is only 1 year, but it was a hell of a turnaround. I think it'll be enough for him to get quite a few interviews. Because honestly, the Commanders requested to interview him too. So
And I think Danny Canellis, I believe is his name with Tampa Bay, the OC. I think he's pretty
yes,
good as well. He's a name to look out for also. Just wanted to throw that in there. So we'll see what happens. I like what they did with the offense, of course, with Baker. Let's get to the game ball, not so game ball of the week before we preview these games and get goofy real quick. Rod, you want to start low and high and give you game ball, not so game ball from the divisional round, my guy?
Yeah, man, I gotta give mine. I'm gonna start low and then high. I hate to do it, but I gotta give mine not so game ball to Jordan Love. Man, oh man. After coming off that fantastic performance last week, where he had 3 touchdowns, 157.2 grade, and 272 yards in the air. This week, 2 interceptions, two I think 2 touchdowns as well, but wasn't as efficient due to a game losing touchdown. It was just an awful performance, and he had the San Francisco 49ers against the ropes, and it's just really sad that he couldn't get that victory. But it is the NFL. This is what it is sometimes. So he'll bounce back next year. But that's my not so game ball. My game ball has to go to my main man from Baltimore, LaMarvelous Jackson. Even in 27-degree weather,
Action Jackson.
he was out there lighting them up with his legs and his arm, and they had no answers for him in the second half of the game. And he almost had a Jackson 5 yet again. But it is what it is, man. He gets my game ball. Hopefully he continues that streak against this next opponent. But we'll get to that a little bit later. But that's my game ball and not so game ball.
Jersey Dre.
I'm a follow suit. Start low, aim high. But I'm going to take a different route. I'm not going to pick from the divisional route. Instead, I'm going to say my not so game ball is going to go to the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys, because why are we? You've seen what happened. The locker room seemed to be lost with the Eagles because we've never seen a team, and we don't. And the thing is, we don't know what exactly happened. I'm speculating that it might be something personal, but that's just speculation because there's no way a team should be down like that, and then all of a sudden, I'm sorry, they should start out hot like that, 10-1, and then end the season 1-6. It's just utterly ridiculous that they did that. So, not so game ball for them just because they want to keep their culture. And then, like I said, Mike McCarthy as well. Yes, 12 wins is nice in the regular season, but if you guys can't make it past the first round, then damn it, what are we doing? And my game ball actually goes to, again, another news topic, the Las Vegas Raiders for keeping Antonio Pierce on their staff. I think he went like 3-4, something like that, with their last couple games, having wins over divisional opponents. He wanted to be a coach. He wanted to be a part of the Raiders organization and what they're doing. So hats off to the Oakland Raiders for getting their guy, listening to the locker room, and not going out after some big name free agent when you can just build within. So that's who gets my game ball.
And like I talked about the Bears earlier, Dre, if the Raiders can figure out a quarterback, they're going to be in the playoffs next year too, Dre.
Oh, for sure.
Start low and high, Cravante, baby.
Man, it's like I said earlier, Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs dropped a lot of passes. Well, let me say not a lot, but he dropped a few passes where mainly that one pass where, my God, Josh Allen put it in the breadbasket and he dropped it. It would have been a for sure touchdown. And he just really hasn't shown up when Josh Allen, needed him most. So the Bills should try to get value for him now while he's relatively healthy and still has, some good years left in him, and see what they can get for him. Game ball. Hmm. Um. Shout out to Ben Johnson, Dan Campbell, and the amazing job that they are doing with that offense. Um. Ben Johnson's stock just continues to rise with every game that he coaches. Dan Campbell deserves a lot of credit. And shout out to Aaron Glenn. The defense has been an issue for the Lions this year, but um, they make plays when they absolutely need to. Shout out to Aiden Hutchinson over there being a menace coming off the edge. I feel like he's going to be doing that for years to come. And the Lions making opportunistic plays and getting stops when they absolutely need to. Shout out to the way they ended that game against Baker Mayfield and them. Just a pick. Let's get on out of here, boys. Great job by Aaron Glenn getting that defense. The defense growing and getting better as the year goes on. So shout out to the whole coaching staff for the Detroit Lions.
That's a name too, Cravante. I don't know if he'll get the job yet because he's a defensive coach, but he's the guy to look forward to in the coming years as well. And Joe Brady too with the Bills. I mean, maybe not this year coming up, but in the next few years, also just some more candidates to look forward to. And I think that Seattle job is a little attractive too. If they can get the quarterback situation figured out, they got a pretty good roster as well. I know they're in the 49ers division, but I think that's an attractive job. Maybe variable if somebody goes out there. But let's preview these.
Dan Quinn will go back.
Yeah, I just don't like him as a head coach. We saw that movie before. He's a better DC coach. Right? Yeah. Let's preview these games. Dre, you got the picks from last week before we did our predictions?
All right, so from this past week, Byron, me and you went 3-1. Unc and Cravante went 4-0 this week.
Awesome. All right, we'll start with the NFC Championship game. In my opinion, the undercard, because I think the main event is first, but we'll start with that. Lions travel to the 49ers. Lions are 0-11 in their last 11 playoff road games. Last win, 1957 against who? The San Francisco 49ers.
Wow.
Funny how that works out. And I'm going with the Lions.
You going with the Lions too?
I'm rolling with the Lions as well. I mean, San Fran could win, and it wouldn't surprise me if they did. But I think something is special in the air for Detroit this year. And I just think that right now they're catching the San Francisco 49ers at a good time. And I think they take it from them.
Hold on, I gotta get Cravante in here. There he goes. Cravante, who you like in this game? Who you like, Dre?
In which game again, man? I was right.
49ers.
NFC.
Like I said, I like the Lions with the I like the Lions in the NFC matchup. I'm not sure what it is about the 49ers, but they just don't seem like the same 49ers team from last year. I've been high on this Lions team all season, beginning of the season, and it's time to chin up. Now put them big boy pants on. If you're gonna bite some kneecaps, this is the team because it's gonna be a physical game. What they say in WWF is a slobber knocker. Definitely is gonna be one.
Go ahead, Cravante.
We doing just NFC right now.
Mhm.
Yeah. We're starting with the NFC because I think the AFC Championship game is definitely the main event, even though it comes on first.
I'm gonna stick with the. God, that's tough. I don't know, man. Lions have a lot of momentum. I'm gonna say that the 49ers the 49ers find a way to pull it out, but I don't think it's gonna be 6.5, 7 point victory. I think the game is going to be close, and it's probably going to go down to the wire. And we'll see if Brock Purdy can pull out some heroics, like he did in the previous week. But this would be an extreme letdown, and then we'll have to question Kyle Shanahan all over again if he does not reach the Super Bowl this year.
Well, we shall see. And the Lions did sign Zach Ertz today as well, tight end. So we'll see how that plays into the game. And on Sunday afternoon, 3 o'clock at M&T Bank Stadium. I mean, I said it's like getting Kobe and LeBron in the finals. Obviously not the Super Bowl, but that's the best way I could put it in comparison. We were supposed to get it in 2019. What better way for Lamar to cement his legacy potentially than going through the tribal chief and finishing the story and getting to the Super Bowl? Ravens, Chiefs. Cavante, I'm gonna start with you, Cavante, because you've been rolling with the Chiefs ever since all 6 years. All 6 years they've
Right.
been in the Nation.
Man, oh man. Oh gosh. This is tough. This is really, 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 really tough. But the Ravens are the better team. The Ravens have been the more consistent team all year. Now, Patrick Mahomes is great. Y'all know that's my guy. Patrick Mahomes is great. But man, he's going into the road. He's going on the road for the first time in his career. And it's hard to stop Lamar Jackson and his offense and them in general.
Lamar and them.
Lamar and them. And that vaunted defense. I'm gonna say this reluctantly, but I think the Ravens are gonna win. I believe the line opened up at -3, and y'all know it takes a lot for me to go against Patrick Mahomes, but I think this Ravens team is special, and they have an opportunity and a chance to win everything this year. So I'm going with the Baltimore Ravens. It's going to be a close game. Patrick Mahomes is going to do some things that it was like, damn, only Patrick Mahomes can do. But Lamar Jackson is also going to do things that only Lamar Jackson can do. So I think the Ravens pull it off at home, and we'll see him in Vegas.
You right, Raj? I mean, I kind of know who you picked, Dre.
Well, I'm a big trust. I'm rolling with the Baltimore Ravens, the hometown team. This is honestly probably the Super Bowl, because if the Ravens get past the tribal chiefs, they win the Super Bowl. I don't care if it's the 49ers or the Lions. They smashed both of them teams early in the season. So
I don't like playing teams twice, Dre. I
don't either, and I know it's going to be a closer game in the Super Bowl. Definitely, we've seen it. It's going to be a closer game if they play again, either of those teams. But I just feel like, for one, it's about finishing the story. Lamar validating he was worth that contract. Like this Ravens team being special. I think that the Ravens are in a must win, and it's kind of similar to the Bills. If you want to prove that, hey, we're that team, Lamar, you are that guy, and you belong in the conversation. He's got that chain that says top 10. Nah, bro, we higher than that. You get this done, you higher than top 10, baby. So we going for that number one spot. I don't give a damn. That's how we doing it over here. So get off the damn thing, Jerron.
Hey, Jerron, what up, baby?
Ravens
what up,
Nation
man?
over here, man.
Here we
Big
go.
Raj. How you feeling, Raj? Are you nervous, Raj? I
Raj,
Time
told
to
Raj,
you
finish
what
the
was going to
story.
I
happen.
feel like the jokes are coming, Raj. The joke is gonna come. You already know what he's gonna call you.
I don't give a damn what Jerron has to say. He come on here trolling all late in the day, all late in the night. Look
And
at Lamar Wax. Get out of here, bro. But you make sure you hit that subscribe button if you ever hit it on YouTube.
Well, good,
Yeah.
Jerron. Appreciate you checking in, man.
Anyway, yeah. Glad you
there
checked.
it is. There it is, Raj. There it is, Raj.
Yeah. Morris Walnut. Yes. I'm a black Morris Walnut. But other than my nuts, let me just say this.
Wow.
Yes, other than my nuts, let me just say this.
Finish him, Daddy.
No bread,
Bet you didn't hear that.
water, just
No bread, no water, just meat.
And that's exactly what I
and
hope.
Karate, he is wrestling tomorrow. If you want to check him out,
Oh my gosh.
Wait, he's wrestling on who's wrestling tomorrow? Booker T?
Braun Breaker and
You know Dre watches that whack NXT.
Oh, we ain't talking about NXT. This is the real deal.
it's
Right
for
here.
Braun Breaker, man.
No, we talking about the Ravens and Chiefs. This is what the tribal chief is, man. This is exactly what the story is that needs to be finished. And it's Lamar Jackson's story. His story of redemption, his story of justice, and his story of the offseason that the Ravens put him through is all going to come to fruition. And it's all going to come down to this Sunday at 3:00. I will not sit here and disrespect Patrick Mahomes. I know what he can do. He is our tribal chief. He has been for the last 6 years, always in the AFC Championship game, has always made it. First time on the road. And I expect Travis Kelce to come through. I expect to see Rice make a couple catches. I expect Pacheco to make a couple big runs. But I also expect for the Ravens to match. And I believe that the Ravens have enough to get the job done. And I just think that hold up. He gonna be like, shut up, Jerron. God damn it, I'm trying to make a statement here. You up here messing me up. But like I said, the Ravens have enough to get the job done. This is their time. We've been waiting for it the entire season. And I always said that I did not want to see the Chiefs. I did not really want to see them. But at this point, the Ravens have whooped everybody's ass that they needed to whoop. And I think that that it's time for the Ravens to beat the Chiefs and get to the Super Bowl. So, of course, I'm picking the Baltimore Ravens to win. They have everything in their favor. They have home field advantage. They have the crowd to go against the Tribal Chiefs. And on top of that, they have that great defense to hopefully put a hold on Patrick Mahomes' dominant force of the AFC.
Look, y'all know who I'm picking. I just want to make a PSA. I said it last week. You Negroes and Negettes in Baltimore, you know what you need to do to the Swifties. You know what you need to do to Taylor Swift. You know what you need to find out. You internet sleuths, you internet detectives. You pull up to that hotel that she's staying at, probably the Four Seasons.
Hey, yo.
You pull up to where she'll be leaving and entering the stadium on the Russell Street side. You meet her at that entrance. You berate her skybox. You make sure that she doesn't get her food and drinks. You make sure that Jason Kelsey ass is not running around with his shirt off, just acting all obnoxious and just showing off in the visiting stadium. You make sure that Mama and Daddy Kelsey can't get in and you mistake them for somebody else. And that's right. You let them know that you're in Baltimore and we don't play fair, damn it. Okay? Do your job. Thank you. PSA from the flag.
And you know what? There will be no swag surfing in our stadium. We're not doing none of this BS. We're going to take you straight to Park Heights if you start that nonsense.
Not Park Heights.
So don't you act a fool up in the stadium. You hear me, Swifties?
Or make it worse. Take it down to Brooklyn. Take it down to Brooklyn.
We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that today.
Take it down to South Baltimore and Brooklyn. But anyway. Oh. Cavante, you ready to get goofy, man? My guy.
Yo, Dre. Dre.
I'm not even paying.
What's wrong with him, yo? What's wrong with him?
I'm not even paying him no mind, man.
Let's go, Patriots! My heavens. Yeah, he's being absurd. My bad, Byron. You said you ready to start?
Yeah, we can get goofy because Jerron's already in.
Yeah, no. He came in on that energy. But yeah,
Time for Cavante's Goofies of the week.
Of course. Something wrong here.
Well, now that's goofy.
indeed, Goofy is always it's always a good time when you come past every Monday.
What's up,
Uh,
John?
so again, welcome, good people. The Goofies of the week, sponsored by the Flex Zone. Appreciate you guys for giving me a little bit of time to let me tell the good people what I thought was goofy this particular week. Y'all know I have two levels of goofiness. We have the high level goofy and we have low level goofy. Low level goofy, we just laugh at it, we kiki, we laugh, we joke, in the hopes that it does not become more goofy and turn into a higher level goofy where we have to congregate, we have to figure out what's going on and talk about how we could get whatever goofy situation we're in out of it. So let's jump right into it. I have two goofies. The first one, I feel like I'll let you guys decide, but I feel like they're both high level goofy. But at least this first one is. So actually we'll go in reverse order because the second one it could be a low level goofy, but it's high because of the timing of it. But the first one I'll deal with is the Buffalo Bills, Byron. I'll deal with that second one, that the other one last. It's the Buffalo Bills. Um, Historically, the Buffalo Bills have not been able to get it done. And, we could date it back to the early 90s. When those were the class of the AFC and went on to 4 back to back to back to back Super Bowls and lost every single one of them. 2 to the Cowboys. Oh, and they lost to all NFC East teams, by the way. Lost 2 to the Cowboys, lost to the Giants, and I believe that was the wide right game where they missed the field goal against the Giants, and of course, lost to the Washington Redskins at the time. And it seems like that path continues to haunt the Buffalo Bills. And they have great fans. Bills Mafia, one of the best fan bases in all of sports. I don't care what the weather is. They not wearing no clothes. They not wearing no shirts. They out there shoveling snow year in and year out because this team does consistently make the playoffs, and they keep asking them fans to come out and shovel the snow, and they show up every year. I don't know any other fan base that comes out and shovels their own teams, their own facility snow every year. So this fan base deserves a lot better what they've been getting. And now that we move into the 2020s, they have Josh Allen. They get Stephon Diggs. They have a high level defense. They have Sean McDermott, um, a great defensive minded head coach. And they just keep running into Patrick Mahomes. It's crazy. And they'll win the first round. They run into Patrick Mahomes in the second round, they lose. They got to the AFC Championship one time, if I'm not mistaken, and they lose. I'm not sure what it is, but even when they look like they're the best team, they're heavily they one year they were heavily favored to win the Super Bowl. It just doesn't happen. They find a way to unfold. They find a way to unfold. Now, like the Cowboys, because at least the Bills do make it formidable. But oh gosh, and we get memes and memes after year after year, and this is the latest one. My man, freezing his butt off, I'm sure. And the Bills come up short once again. And he cannot help himself but to cry real tears. And I'm sure they'll probably freeze on his face. But this is what the Bills fans and their fan base have to go through year after year after year since the 90s. A high level championship contending team that cannot break through, whether it's the NFC East, or whether it's Patrick Mahomes. They just cannot find their way. They cannot find their way over the hump, through the hump, around the hump, to get past the next level and get to that championship. Unfortunate, just cannot do it. And historically, they never been able to do it. So it's really no surprise that they're not able to do it now. Yes, times have changed. Yes, they have a quarterback. Yes, they have a pretty good, pretty good offense when Josh Allen is not being a gunslinger all the time. And yet and still, history finds their way to repeat themselves. It's really unfortunate because the Bills Mafia deserves better. And, it's just not their time right now. So, maybe they'll end up like the Lions at some point or another, but unfortunately this year ends like most of them, in heartache and tears. A lot of Bills Mafia tears and probably a lot of broken tables too. But that's one goofy. Now this next one. Oh no. Oh no.
Dude got a tattoo saying they were going to win the Super Bowl.
Now I don't know why he did that. Because again, looking at the history of the Buffalo Bills, that's probably not a good tattoo to have. He probably would have better off getting the Bills, AFC East champions. He probably been better off with that. But he should have known better than to do that. Also, terrible tattoo placement. Also bad because that's on your arm, brother. People gonna see that. He should have put it somewhere where he can get it covered up, or it can be covered up easily. But whatever. But that's the dedication that the Bills Mafia has. So unfortunate. But anyway, Byron, moving on. It's time. Now this goofy is off the hook, yo. And it's funny because it happened right in our backyard. At the Ravens game, the Ravens were kicking the Houston Texans butt really, really bad in the second half. We spotted a celebrity, or should I say, thought was a celebrity, at M&T Bank. You guys may recognize him. We all know of him, love him. A week after his birthday, Martin Luther King Jr. people.
I have a dream that one day the Baltimore Ravens just might make the Super Bowl.
Dr. King? Dr. King?
Really?
Dr. King? Now, my gosh, that is a spitting image. That is a spitting. And look at the guy in the back. The guy in the back just enjoying himself. But this is a spitting image of the late, great Dr. Martin Luther King. And, just not even a full week after his birthday and the holiday that we celebrate, just happened to be on the same day this year. Him making an appearance at this game is crazy. Now, obviously, we kid, but my gosh, that is a spitting image of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Taking in the Ravens game, and cheering the Ravens on as they completely handed to the Houston Texans. And the timing of this makes it crazy because it's obviously January, his birthday month, and just so not even a week after his birthday, we have a MLK sighting, and not far from MLK Boulevard, if y'all are familiar with the Baltimore area. MLK Boulevard is not far at all from M&T Bank Stadium. So shout out to that brother. We gotta get that brother's name or something, because my gosh, you have a very iconic face, to say the absolute least. And he looks like he's a Ravens fan, so he's cheering on the team, and got a lot of love from social media and the Baltimore Ravens, the flock, as well. So shout out to that good brother taking the game in, being as iconic as he want to look, and just being him.
Can I play something? I'm not gonna play the actual video. I'll play the audio. I'm trying to manipulate it. Just let me know if you can hear this. Hold on one second, guys. Let's see. Let me know if you can.
Will you ignorant nigga?
Hold on. Can
Just please shut the hell up.
He just said what I think he said.
Is this it? This is what I got all those ass whoopings for? I had a dream once. It was a dream that little black boys and little black girls would drink from the river of prosperity, freed from the thirst of oppression. But lo and behold, some 4 decades later, what have I found but a bunch of trifling, shiftless, good-for-nothing niggas? And I know some of you don't want to hear me say that word. It's the ugliest word in the English language, but that's what I see now, niggas. And you don't want to be a nigga, because niggas are living contradictions. Niggas are full of unfulfilled ambitions. Niggas wax and wane. Niggas love to complain. Niggas love to hear themselves talk but hate to explain. Niggas love being another man's judge and jury. Niggas procrastinate until it's time to worry. Niggas love to be late. Niggas hate to hurry. Black entertainment television is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Usher, Michael Jackson is not a genre of music. And now I'd like to talk about soul playing. I've seen what's around the corner. I've seen what's over the horizon. And I promise you niggas have nothing to celebrate. But no, I won't get there with you. I'm going to Canada.
Really, yo? Even though that's one of the funniest episodes ever. I remember freshman year they showed it during orientation, and the classmates, they were like, "Well, we couldn't hear it because all we heard was Dre laughing the entire time."
It was Dr. Ball's class, wasn't it?
Huh?
Dr. Ball's class, wasn't it?
No, it was Dr. Capano. So.
No, no. Okay. That's right up his alley as well too. So.
Oh my!
That was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Oh, hold on, I think where's Cavante? Man. I think we lost him. He froze.
Yeah. Hey, am I
Okay,
back?
there he is.
You're back. Yes, you're back.
Y'all know my line. There's a thin line between goofy and great. And these brothers are on the wrong end of it. All of them. Josh Allen and that good brother that resembles the late, great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah, of course. Something wrong here.
Well, now that's goofy.
Thank you for that, Goofy Cavante. Oh man, no more truer words than from the voice of Dr. King through Aaron McGruder. Seriously, it is fantastic, man. It is wonderful, man. Oh man. I don't even know what I was about to say next. That was fantastic. That is all we have tonight. Real quick before we get out of here, Drizzy Dre. I know this week is a big time week for us wrestling fans. Oh, us football fans, because we got the Ravens on Sunday and the Royal
Ravens Sunday.
Rumble on Saturday, my guy. How are you feeling, man? Any quick thoughts on the Rumble or anything you are looking forward to seeing? I know we will be live here.
I got CM Punk winning the Royal Rumble. We talked about it. We said that it just feels like Cody isn't going to be able to finish his story this year. You can see that it's heading towards Rock and Roman and Mania. Seth looks like he's going to be able to rest his knee until WrestleMania and face CM Punk. So it just seems like that's the case. I'm unsure about where Cody fits in with all of this. We kind of know some matchups that are about to happen. So that's the only unsurety that I have. But everybody else just seems to be falling right into place. I got Cody winning the Rumble, and I got Bayley winning the Women's Royal Rumble.
In episode 425 next week, Dre, what can the people expect?
Probably the same thing. We're going to recap football, recap this WWE, and probably throw in maybe a little NBA. Tonight, Embiid had 70 points, the most in a Sixers game.
Woo!
So yeah, shout out to Embiid. Looks like he's going to get the way he's projecting another MVP at this point. So.
Shout out to Cat as well with 62 on the anniversary, Dre, of Kobe scoring 81. So funny how that works out. Episode 425. Raj, big week on the channel, man. How you feel?
Man, plenty of videos coming out. Just stay tuned. Got Royal Rumble previews, Ravens previews, AEW live stream. I think you're doing another live stream tomorrow with Dylan.
Yeah. Why
going? So plenty of stuff coming. I might do a couple things during the week as well. We'll see. But yeah, man, we're heading back in the right direction again and making things happen.
Yes, this week is a big time week for the channel. Probably one of our biggest weeks of the year, as mentioned. Tomorrow, probably be with my guys over at the Last Week in Wrestling podcast. Make sure you guys check them out. My boy Dylan. We'll be talking about the Royal Rumble, giving our booking ideas. I'll be doing match previews. Only 4 matches for the Rumble. So we may be going back to the old format of maybe 2 minutes before each person comes in, instead of this 90-second bull crap. So we'll see what you can pick up on Saturday. 4 matches for previews coming tomorrow. AEW Wednesday. Glad to be here, I'm sure. Probably from the car or from wherever. We're going to start from the Ravens. Ravens preview coming. Ravens post game on Sunday. Maybe a Super Bowl preview Sunday night. We'll see. And Saturday, the Royal Rumble. We'll have a packed house. Feel free to join us. 30 men, 30 women. Definitely one of the best events of the year, even if you're not a wrestling fan. Something we all can enjoy. Should be a big time week on the channel. Make sure you guys, if you haven't already, check us out on Twitter, Instagram at the Flex Zone 1, and on TikTok, Flex Zone Podcast. Donate. Flex Zone 1. Check us out. We're here each and every day. Make sure we are the ones. Throw up those ones. Hit that bell. And of course, the flexon1@gmail.com. Ideas, part of the show. We're heading towards the Super Bowl. We're heading towards the start of MLB baseball, March Madness soon enough as
Yes.
well. So a lot of things still to come as 2024 be our biggest year. You had 10 years of the Flex On Podcast. Executive producer, Andre Melton, co-founder, as well as the other co-founder, Cavante, senior producer, voice of reason, captain of the goofy ship, Big Raj, the meat man, social media producer, and yours truly, God's favorite host, social producer. Hit the bell, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We appreciate you being here for almost 2 hours. But it's the only place fellas give me sports how you want it.
When you need it.
We're going to put the kids to bed. It's late. It's now officially Tuesday. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next week. If we don't before then on the channel for episode 425, recapping the conference championship games, and look forward to that Super Bowl as well. But Dre, Cavante, Raj, and everybody in the chat, thank you for watching. It's the Flex On Podcast, y'all. We gone. Peace.
Peace.